All right, we back. Funny how that happens. I call technology trash, and then everything goes and just shuts deep down. So hey, now you got a two-parter. Cause I'm one of those people you can't stop. I won't stop. It's Rockefeller Records, baby, and we get down, baby. We get down. Not sure exactly where the thing left off. I was looking for Grand Canyon University's record, and I exited it out because I was mad. But 6-0 conference play, SFA in second place at 4-2, 16-1 on the season, 9-0 at home, 4-0 on the road. Grand Canyon University at number 13. Just gotta shout them out. Not really the 13th best school in the nation, but gotta shout them out. Now, let's continue with this week's power rankings 1 through 10 from Captain by a Hook with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs. Second time ever, my live has crashed. Anyway, at number one, numero uno. It might surprise a few people. I know what you're thinking. I've been screaming UConn's the best team in the country for months. North Carolina comes in at this week's number one. How can you deny it? Last four games they played has been spectacular display both on offense and on defense. Right now, they are the best team in the country. UConn right behind them at number two. Definitely love UConn. Still think they have a high chance to repeat. Uh, they're struggling, and by struggling, they play in the Big East. It looks like a struggle to get points sometimes. Looks like a struggle getting up and down the floor sometimes. And my bad, I just got a text. Some crazy news, man. Anyway, where we at? UConn, baby. North Carolina's just getting everything a little easier. And of course, conferences have a lot to do with that. The Big East, a lot tougher, a lot more hard nosed than the ACC. However, UConn at number two, baby. I think North Carolina is the best team in the nation right now. At number three, it's hard for me to do this. This is where stuff gets tricky. I'm gonna go Purdue. Yeah, they've lost twice. Still think at, I guess if everything goes right, they should be undefeated. Perimeter defense is the only thing you could really knock them on. Everything else, you got Zach Edey, probably the best player in the nation. I wish he would be the most dominant player in the nation. Shout out to Shaq for that one. But Purdue at number three, definitely still think they're a top three school until they prove otherwise. Kentucky, put them at number four. I know they lost on Saturday. You're not supposed to reward losing. However, you go to overtime on the road. I think Kentucky one shot away from winning that game. I think they're the fourth best team in the nation. You could argue four, five, six, seven, maybe even eight could go anywhere on this list. So definitely, I think Kentucky is the team that I like the most. So I put them at number four. Again, it's my list. This is my power rankings. This is who I think should be whatever, whatever. Cashmere sweater. So we got North Carolina at one, UConn at two, Purdue at three, Kentucky at four. Then at number five, coming in at five, we got Duke. Number five, we got Duke, baby, the Blue Devils. I think they're under the radar team right now. I believe they're 13-3. Definitely a team you do not want to run into. It's going to be a doozy. North Carolina and Duke when they run into each other. I'm already waiting for it. Already looking forward to it. seeing those two teams play. Because the last few years, it hasn't been what it was supposed to be. And what I mean by that is it wasn't like two of the best schools in the country. The rivalry was still there, but it wasn't two top 10, two top 5 schools playing each other. This season, you got two top 5 schools playing against each other in Duke and North Carolina. At number 6, we're gonna go to my favorite team this season. Finally getting back on track on the road at home. I think this is one team you can truly put anywhere, and I think they're gonna win. I don't give a damn if they play in this game anywhere. Just trying to think of somewhere funny. But who gives a damn about jokes? We're talking about Memphis basketball, baby. Go on the road and get it done. At home, get it done. Memphis undefeated in conference play. Love their road record. That's one of the things that kind of bumped them up. They have the best road record. What I mean by that is they played the most true road games, and they've only lost one, I believe, on the road. Definitely a team you do not want to see at home or on the road. Memphis, baby. Talking about them Tigers. At number 7, we're going to go with the offensively challenged Kansas Blue Jays, Jayhawks. What are they? The Kansas Jayhawks. I know Bill Self is the greatest coach ever. I know this team will figure it out. Definitely will be a Sweet 16 type team. Just offensively, they have nobody. Struggling to get to 65 points a game, which uh, honestly, shout out to Bill Self for even still keeping this team relevant without a great offense. Being able to strictly win games on the defensive side. Kansas, baby, they struggled against UCF. It wasn't really that they lost that one game to UCF. It's the fact that the last 10 games, I've seen them struggle to get to 65, 70 points. Definitely going to need some more, see some more reliable offense coming out of Kansas before I move them back up. At number 8, shout out to Bruce Pearl. Excuse me. This is a morning show, and this is live, baby. Shout out to Bruce Pearl. He has this team rocking and rolling. I'm gonna go with Auburn at number 8. I mean, they just demolishing teams. Again, on the road, at home, it don't matter. This team at home might be the scariest thing you will see this whole season, and that's saying a lot because a lot of these home teams are the scariest thing you'll see this whole season. I will talk about another team in a minute at home being one of the scariest, but Auburn definitely number 8 on my list this week in the power rankings, and then at number 9. Yes, I dropped this team tremendously, but they're the only team that lost 2 in a row, not just one. Lost 2 games in a row. The Big 12 has not been nice too. Houston didn't want to knock them out completely. I would give them another week to see what the hell they do. Houston, number 9 on the list, and then to round out the list, drum roll please. Utah State. Comically crazy win on Saturday. Utah State, one loss on the season, 16-1. They started the season 0-1. What does that mean? 15 game winning streak against Utah State. They have a huge, I mean huge game tonight on the road, taking on New Mexico. That's going to be huge. That's one of the games I actually have a bet on. The number I had, it doesn't exist anymore. Kind of don't know what to do with that game at all. Utah State on the road taking on New Mexico. Gonna be a damn good one. If you don't watch Mount West basketball, excuse me, Tuesday, baby. If you ain't watching Mount West basketball, you should start. Get you some coffee in at about 8 o'clock at night. Stay up till 11:30 and watch this Mount West game. Utah State and New Mexico. I think it's going to be the best game of the damn night. So just to recap the power rankings, we're going North Carolina, we're going UConn, we're going Purdue, Kentucky, Duke. That's 1 through 5. At number 6, we got Memphis. Number 7, Kansas. Number 8, Auburn. 9, Houston. Number 10, Utah State. Man, oh man. The season's just warming up. However, college basketball is on fire, baby. And it's a Super Tuesday tonight. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. Let's look ahead at tonight, actually. Get the preview going, and then I'll give out my bets. Like I said, I have 4 bets. I don't know what to do with them. They kind of moved a little bit. Sheesh. I'm gonna start it off early though. Got an early game, 4 o'clock in the SEC. Tennessee at home, -9.5, taking on Florida. I don't see Florida losing by 10. I don't see Florida losing by 10. Gonna be a good ass game. You got Butler, Xavier, one of the most dangerous teams that has a 500 or less record. What the hell's going on? Sean Miller, I think he gets it rolling. They go on a little win streak. Butler on the road, no thank you. -5.5 on Xavier. Ah, just lost by. I mean, they just won by 20 over the weekend. Xavier at home, -5.5. Definitely got an eye on it. Wake Forest, North Carolina State, ACC Classic. Man, it's a coin flip on this one. Heads, I'm taking North Carolina State. Tails, I'm taking Wake Forest, which means I ain't betting this damn game. But definitely cannot wait to watch it. Gonna be a shootout, I believe. Alabama -14.5 taking on Missouri. I talked yesterday a little bit about Alabama. Won 3 in a row. I think they're getting things rolling. I think they're getting things clicking. I think they're one of those teams that we're gonna see where we kind of counted them out around Christmas, and then come Valentine's Day, they're going to be right back in the conversation. Definitely love to see what Alabama's going to do tonight. -14.5, way too big for me to lay. Another number, way too big for me to lay. Purdue on the road at Indiana, huge rivalry game tonight. -9.5 on Purdue on the road. You can't do it. Definitely wouldn't bet Indiana with the way they've played. Inconsistent as hell. TCU, they're taking on Cincinnati. Love this TCU team. Cincinnati, Cincinnati, baby, at home -2.5. Sheesh, I'd have to take TCU as the dog in this one. Staying away from it though. Got some other games I like more. All right, gonna be the show of interruptions. Yawn 20 times, cough 3 times, computer crash once. I'm like, no, I keep looking at like, are we still live? We good? Is there anybody out there? Man, oh man. Rich what? Rich men. They're road dogs taking on Duquesne. Akron -13.5, way too big. Indiana State -11.5. I don't know. Those are some tricky dogs over there. Dayton taking on St. Louis. I think Dayton wins this one for sure. -13.5. Yikes. Charlotte -2.5 taking on Rice. Kind of like that. The Charlotte -2.5. Not gonna lie to you. Let's get into some later games. You got Baylor taking on Kansas State. Baylor, road favorite against Kansas State, barely 1.5 point favorite on the road. Baylor's one of those sneaky teams. They're kind of like Duke, under the radar. If you know, you know. If you don't care. Baylor basketball, I think they have 2 losses on the season. Definitely a great team. Kansas State more on the inconsistent side. They could be great, they could be bad. Um, I don't know. Not gonna bet it because sheesh. Don't let Kansas State show up, if you know what I mean. But I think Baylor's gonna show up regardless. Iowa State, they're taking on BYU tonight. Big 12 basketball, baby. If you don't know, now you know. This is number 20 taking on number 24. Yes, BYU is number 20. Iowa State number 24. BYU 4.5 point home favorites. I might try to watch that game, but nothing on it. Georgia taking on South Carolina. I kind of like the Georgia +5.5 on the road. Georgia has impressed me this season at home and on the road. 5.5 feels like a number they can cover. Think this is going to be one of those one possession 77-76 type games. Buzzer beater either going to go in or not. Texas A&M taking on Arkansas. This is a doozy. Texas A&M is on the road. Texas A&M is -2.5. Texas A&M so far is the better team, but I wouldn't sleep on Arkansas getting things right somewhere around this time of year. Definitely a team I'm going to monitor the next week and a half, 2 weeks, see what the hell Arkansas does. Are they just going to lay down and give up? Are they going to show some fight? I think it'll be the latter. Kansas, they've been 6.5 point favorites in every game this season. I'm probably exaggerating, but hot ham if they ain't 6.5 point favorites again. Oh, and by the way, they can't score. This game's going to be 63-60. Kansas is going to walk away with some BS win at the end. But hey, the total is 137. That should give you all you need to know about Kansas' offense this year. Uh, -6.5. You can't do it. Do I think Kansas wins this game? Hell yeah. So take it how you want it. Take it how you want it. One of my favorite games of the night to keep an eye on. We got Colorado State, baby. They're taking on Air Force. Colorado State -15.5. This team covers when they win. Definitely think you're safe with the 15.5. I have some huge futures on Colorado State. So basically, I'm going to be sweating out the money line all season with Colorado State in this one. Not going to bet the game. Don't want to sweat out the 15.5. Just hope they handle business and win, but I do think they can win this game by 25-30 against the Air Force. Colorado State's definitely one of the best teams in the nation. Hit a little skid in conference play, but I think they bounce back. I think they go on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. I believe in 5 games. So you got this game, 3 more games, and then I believe they're running to San Diego State, which is going to be a true test of where they're at. Cannot wait for that one. I don't usually look ahead, but I did look ahead at their schedule because of the large futures I have on them. Colorado State, baby, just going to be sweating them out. But I think you're safe with the 15.5. Georgia Tech taking on Clemson. Plus 11.5. Whew, this game can go either way. It's going to be a 2 point game or a 40 point game. No in between. Definitely going to keep an eye on it. Probably check my scores on the phone every 30, 40 minutes, making sure I check this one. Wisconsin on the road. I just talked about them being 5-0 in Big Ten play. They're taking on Penn State tonight. Wisconsin, they're -5.5 on the road. If the road teams weren't such a doozy, and I kind of feel like that was the first 10 days. Now it's gonna switch to where it don't really matter that much. Like, all right, kids, we're gonna have to go win some games on the road. Let's get your mind wrapped around that thought. I think a lot of coaches did some disservices to their teams in the non-conference schedule. If you look at a lot of these good teams' records, they're like 13-2, 12-1, uh, 10-0 at home. And not a lot of traveling happened in the non-conference schedule. At least not a lot of winning traveling. A lot of teams are like 1-2 on the road, 10-0 at home. So I think that kind of came back to bite these teams in conference play. You look at a team like Memphis, who was all over the place in non-conference schedule. They're doing a lot better in conference play. UNLV, the running Rebels, they're taking on of Boise State, the running Rebels of Las Vegas, are +5.5 on the road. I think that game has I would take the over 141, but I don't know. I think it's going to be both these teams in the 70s. 5.5, I do like. Back to Wisconsin real quick. If I had to bet it, I'd lay the 5.5, but I would not be surprised if Penn State just won that game outright. Uh, where we at? I think that's it. We can get into the betteroonies. It's captained by a hook with the red beard, represented by Stare Down Sports. All right, this is going to be a doozy. I don't know what to do with this stuff. I'm just going to break it to you how I bring it to you. So I got the over, Syracuse, Pittsburgh. I got it over 144.5. It's now 145.5. I mean, I got this game getting into the 150s, so I don't know why it scares me so much seeing the 145 instead of the 144. But hey, I don't know. I'm on the over in this game. Syracuse and Pittsburgh. That's the first bet of the night. Second bet of the night. Keep it here. Give me Syracuse on the money line. They're an up and down team. I think they're up today. Syracuse plus 205 on the money line. If you want the 6.5, you can take it. It was 5.5 last night, and the money line was plus 190 last night. So definitely the whole world is on Pittsburgh. I am contrary. Also, Syracuse is my favorite team. With that being said, you don't hear me saying bet Syracuse money line every damn game. This is actually the first time I'm going to do it. I think this is a great spot for the Orangemen to bounce back after getting routed by North Carolina. One thing about this team is they have shown the ability to bounce back. They have shown an edge. Definitely like that from Syracuse. I think to go ahead and win this game outright on the road. I'm going to be on Syracuse on the money line plus 205, and I'm going to be on the over 145.5 on that game. Going down to a late game. This is 7:30, baby. We got some Big East action. St. John's taking on Seton Hall. Even money across the board. You can take the money line on either team minus 110. Seton Hall, number one right now in the Big East, 5-1 in Big East play. They're at home. You best believe Kaderi Richmond, their point guard, is going to come out and he's going to try and make a statement tonight. You best believe this Seton Hall fan base is going to be rocking. It's going to be rolling. You best believe Shaheem Holloway ain't gonna let his kids think that they are good until they win something. Best believe I'm taking Seton Hall at home on the money line. Rick St. John's and Rick Pitino has definitely surprised me early on this season. However, my preseason prediction is that St. John struggles in Big East play. I'm going to keep that prediction alive. 1 point loss to Creighton. Give me Seton Hall with another close one, walking away with a victory. St. John's, another heart-breaking loss. Now, I talked about this game earlier. Utah State, they're taking on New Mexico. I got it at 4.5. And even at that number, I was a little nervous about it. It's kind of making me want to go back on my terms. Utah State only one loss this season. That was the first game of the season. They're on a 15-game winning streak. I know. Saturday they got lucky as hell. Lucky as hell. No way they should have won that game Saturday, but they did. Now basketball gods and basketball karma can come back to bite them. I think New Mexico gets things rolling. We saw on Saturday also how that New Mexico fan base and Jalen House and Jamal Mashburn Jr. are at the top of their game. JP Toppin, 17 points, 18 rebounds. If these kids come out and play like that, give me New Mexico. I'm laying the points. I got minus 4.5, minus 5.5 scares the hell out of me. I would not bet minus 5.5. Honestly, everything I just said makes me want to take Utah State plus the 5.5. I don't know what to do with this game. This is the one game I don't know what to do with now that it's moved to 5.5. 4.5, I was on New Mexico. It looks like it's juice too. It might move to 6.5. If you get a 6.5 Utah State, you better take it. Because Jalen House just played his best game of his life. Never seen him play like that. What's the chance of him coming out and doing it 2 games in a row? Slim. Jamal Mashburn Jr., best game of his life. What's the chance he come out and plays like that again? Slim. Your boy Toppin, 17 points, 18 boards. Utah State ain't gonna be giving up boards like that. I just talked myself out of a bet that I got. I honestly don't know what to take you. I don't know why I even took you here. Don't know why I even took you here. It was really the home basketball karma. Utah State shouldn't have won. Think they come out and lose. I could talk about this game for another hour, man. I feel like this. If you see a 4.5 on the board, let's go New Mexico. 5.5, stay away. Gets to 6.5, jump all over Utah State. Hell, there might even be a scenario where I'm on Utah State plus 6.5 and New Mexico minus 5.5 at the same damn time. A little middling action, if you know what I mean. However, choose wisely. Definitely gonna Syracuse over 145.5. Probably my favorite bet of the day. Don't know why I didn't play the horns on it. Kind of got lost with all of the hiccups today's show. Syracuse on the money line. Also love that. It just moved to plus 225. This thing might get up to plus 250, plus 300. Everybody and their mama's on Pittsburgh at home, and I get it. This is the thing about college basketball. People are just now watching. Saturday might have been the first time anybody's even looked at a college basketball score. They see Syracuse lose by 40 to North Carolina. Now they're coming in hard with the fade of North Carolina. I'm on Syracuse. Money line. It's plus 235 now. We just watched this thing go from 205, 225, 235. Man, get on a Syracuse money line at the biggest number you can find and take the over. Don't parlay 'em. Please. Parlays are for losers. Take the over 145 and a hook. Syracuse is going to come out and ball, baby. Trust me when I say that. Um, and then Seton Hall on the money line. I love that bet as well. Utah State, New Mexico. Don't even act like I didn't even talk about that game. Let's go Seton Hall on the money line, Syracuse on the money line, over on Syracuse Pittsburgh over 145 and a hook. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love and thank you for the support. My apologies for the technology. Two-parter today, baby. First 15 minutes. This is the last 26 minutes. It's gonna mess up my views, man. Oh well. What can you do but look forward, move forward, and try to be better? Again, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love and thank you for the support. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful 16th of January. It is a Tuesday, and this is a morning show presented by Stare Down Sports. Please take all of these wagers at your own risk. And please, please gamble responsibly. Dobbs.